How's it going, guys? It's Shay here, Uneven Balance. Hope you're well. Just thought I'd do another video on South Africa and England and my reaction to the second test that just happened a few days ago at Newlands. Today's Friday, January 10th, so it happened, well, it finished 3 days ago now. So yeah, sorry for the delay, but just wanted to give my thoughts and some key points, in my opinion, for the test, and looking ahead to the third test in PE that starts next week. So obviously England batted first. Did pretty well. Ollie Pope made 60 odd. I mean, it was a bit of capitulation at the end. But it was an okay batting performance. I mean, the top order got in and he got out, and then yeah, it was a bit of a timid end to the proceedings, but it looked a reasonable score on that wicket first up. I mean, I think they would have liked a few more. Obviously, electing to bat, but he did okay. I was happy for Ollie Pope. I've done a video, obviously, I'm not sure if you guys seen it. If you haven't, check it out, please. So, Zach Crawley, Sibley, and Ollie Pope, and my thoughts about them being the future. Well, the guys who are holding the baton now for England's future of the batting lineup, and just seeing, who I think is gonna really come out at the other end, smelling a rose, if you will. And I think Ollie Pope is the one that I think will excel. But we'll talk about Sibley's knock a bit later, but I did think that Sibley would do well as well. But Ollie Pope seems to be a kind of guy who can now settle into that middle order, as I did well in that first innings. I was quite impressed as well with South Africa's support bowlers, in both innings actually. I think Norkie in particular, in his second innings, really tried his heart out. He really busted nuts in that second innings. He was having a right go. I mean, I think it was the third day in the evening. They were trying to obviously get England out and using any strategies available to them, and he was bouncing these guys at a pretty decent rate of knots. I mean, I think he was bowling 147 clicks, and we're saying it was right towards the end of the day on day 3, and that's what you want to see. South Africa want to see, these guys coming in, these support bowlers who really want to put their hand up now. I mean, they probably sent it as well. Dane Patterson's on the fringe of the team, but the people who've got the spot at the moment, Torres and Nokia's, they know there's a change of the guard in that bowling lineup now, and you can put your hand up and get a spot. So with Lander, 2 test matches away from being finished, there's no automatic spot's going to open up, because I think I said before, Lungi and Gidi's, for me, is not. I mean, it's a shame about this, but I think he's got injury problems, and that they may carry on with him for some time. So there's a definite spot opening up there for a frontline bowler. It's just who's going to take it, basically. So yeah, I was impressed with the support bowling of South Africa. I made some points there as well, just to go through. But yeah, so that was the England's first innings. So it was pretty good. It worked. If you in the grand scheme of things, I think South Africa made like 248 and 220 odd. So I think it was it was a decent score first up from England. And then you had obviously South Africa coming into bat, and then Jimmy is rolling back the years, wasn't he? Really, he bowled so well in that first innings, taking 5 for 40, which made him pulling up with injury in the second innings so hard to bear, really, because he did so well in the first innings. But I had to say, he was just. I think he's a very. I said before, I've done all the videos, so guys, check that out, on Anderson and his potential retirement. But I said he's a very stubborn character, and I think he's just trying to prove his place in that team, because I think going into the test match, if Archer was fit, he probably wouldn't have played. So I think he just wanted to kind of prove that he's still got what it takes to perform at the highest level, which he does. There's no doubt about it. So it was a good performance of him, obviously. Dominic Bess, I was impressed with as well, in both innings, actually, because he came in with a lot of pressure on him. He had, obviously, he's got, flown in because of the virus that occurred, and then he found himself from a guy probably sitting on his couch back in Somerset, to being kind of thrown into Newlands. So, he did very well. I think his time spent with Rangana Herath out in India has done some good. Actually, I mean, I think you could probably argue. I mean, it's between him and Leach now. Obviously, they invested done well now. So, like I'd say, you could actually, to be fair, argue that he outballed Mirage, which is impressive. So, it was good to see Best, coming in, because personally for me, I've got no problem with a spinner playing a holding role. I used to like Paul Harris, Ashley Giles. If you want to go back in terms of England, your spinner. You, obviously, with all of Murray Dillon and a Shane Warne and a Combley, of course he would. More modest, like you look at Nathan Lyons and your Graham Swans and your Yasser Shahs and these guys, Rashid Khans. You'd like your attacking spin balls to be able to ball sides out. But if you've got potent quick bowlers, there's nothing wrong with a spin bowler being economical and holding up an end and chipping in with 1 or 2 wickets. I don't see a problem with that at all, as long as your pace attack is strong. Now, obviously there's some confidence Best will be under extreme examination when we go there in a couple of months. And obviously then it's slightly different in his role. But I think, home wickets, places like New Zealand, South Africa, Australia even, if you can tie an end down reasonably well, I think that that's fine. That's okay. Hopefully he can develop his attacking option as well with the ball. But I think if you can tie an end down like he did Newlands, I think that's perfectly fine with the kind of bowling options that England have with all the pace bowlers they have at their disposal. I think it's for Best to play his role is good. So, yeah, I was impressed with him. We go to the batsmen. I think there's a lot of batsmen under scrutiny going to the Test match. I think from England you had Root and Sibley, particular Sibley. Zach Crawley to a certain extent, but not really, because he's just he's coming into a second Test match. But with Sibley, he's his 4th Test match now. Probably got to see a few more runs from him, and boy did he deliver. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so Ruth and Sibley and South Africa, they had Van der Dusen and Peter Malan. Now obviously with those two, it's slightly different why they were under pressure. I mean, Van der Dusen did really well in Centurion. Peter Malan didn't play obviously, but he was selected for this Test match. So the big, kind of a hoopla over Bavuma not getting the nod and being sent back to play franchise cricket for the Lions. I think that was the right decision. I've commented on that already here. And to be fair, Milan with 84 in the second innings, and Van der Dusen with 68 in the first innings, and a real great rearguard action to almost save a Test match in the second innings. I think he ball 8 for 140 balls, 17 or something. So, he's proven that he can play both things. I mean, to be fair, he's actually scored at quite a sedate rate in both Test matches, but he is a natural opener, wasn't he, for the Lions originally? So I like him. I think he's a good player, and I'm glad that South Africa have announced that there's going to be no more changes to the Test squad. And I think Van der Dusen will probably play the next 2 Tests. He might not play the 4th if he let's say get a pair in at PE. He may not play the 4th Test at Joburg, but I think he'll play the whole series personally. I think they'll give him a fair crack of the whip. And Peter Malan, I mean, I think he'll also stay at the top of the order because obviously Markham's injured. So I'm happy for both of them. I think just vindicated Boucher and the selector's decision to go with or stick with Van der Dusen and go with Malan instead of chopping up the order and bring to somehow kind of accommodate Bavuma. I think it was the right call. So back to England with Root and Sibley. I mean, Root, now he's obviously making runs. He made 35, I think, in the first innings, 61 in the second. Was it? I think it was 61 he made. 60 something, I'm pretty sure. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he made 60 odd in the second innings. Obviously, I mean, he's doing well. He's doing well. So I know I've mentioned about, again, done a little video on Root's captaincy. You can check that out. But I still personally believe that he's capable of, scoring more hundreds. I mean, I think it's been well documented that his conversion rate from 50s to 100s is quite poor. And he needs to kind of work on that probably mental aspect of his game to make sure he goes and converts more 50s. So That being said, he captained really well, I'd say. I think he did very well in this test match. Credit where credit's due. Did well. Strategically, I think he was a lot stronger than he was Centurion. Seemed to be quite confident in his bowlers. I think maybe because he had Ben Stokes as well available, and we'll get to Stokes in a bit, but he had Stokes available in a fully fledged bowling capacity. He knew he could throw the ball to him because, Stokes has proved for a long time. With ball in hand and especially bat in hand, you can do something. You can always make something happen. So he might have been a bit more confident with that. He obviously had Dominic Bess as well in the team, which might give him some more confidence. He's obviously seen Bess in the nets, and he felt he can give him another option there, and Bess obviously supported him with that. So yeah, I mean, well done, Root. Said if he keeps making runs, then obviously the vultures like myself will stop circling, I guess. So yeah, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. If Root can continue to make a lot of runs while as captain, fantastic, because I don't think there's any real obvious choice to replace him. So I hope that Root can continue to lead the team, but he has to make runs. I don't believe in these kind of captains who are just there for the sake of being a captain. You need to make run. If you're a batsman, you make runs first and then captain second, not the other way around. So anyway, enough of that. So that's with Root. Dominic Sibley obviously scored that massive 100, carries bat 133, fantastic. Well done to him. Superb batting for him, and he really took his time. I mean, again, he wasn't really rushed by the nature of the situation and the game. He just was happy to just kind of play his own game, basically play the way he's done for the past 2 years at Warwickshire, which is why he's in the team in the first place. So good on him. Do you know what I mean? He could have kind of changed his game completely and just gone, okay, I'm just going to go for it. Just what I need to, especially at the end, go into kind of white ball mode and just go hell for leather. And he did obviously play some more extravagant strokes, but I think he finished on day 180 odd, something, 85 was it? It must be really nerve wracking for him, and then to go and sorry, not day one, it'd been day 3, wouldn't it? Because obviously it was second innings, but sorry guys, late, but anyway, yeah. So to go obviously overnight with only 80 odd would have been quite very nerve wracking for a guy in the situation, but he did very well. He did very well. Very ably supported by that incredible cricketer that we've got in the ranks in Ben Stokes. I mean, flipping heck, what more can you say about this guy after last year? I mean, just started 2020 like this after what happened last year. It's incredible. I mean, England are incredibly lucky to have someone like him, available, in their team. He's an amazing player. I mean, I think he's averaging 55 or something in the past 12 months or 18 months or something like that, I read. But he's just an unbelievably good cricketer, just phenomenal, and gets into any team in the world, any team. He's just a brilliant player. There's not much more you can say really about it with Ben Stokes, but I mean the second innings to score at 70 odd, it was like 47 balls something. He just took the game away from South Africa. I think he just helped Root set up the declaration and give him plenty of time to bowl, that second innings, because I was a bit worried that Root was going to play at safety first and just do the old give it a day in a session. Do you know what I mean? Like, just off the tee, or just declare even at tee. Day in a session, day in 20 overs, 110, 115 overs to bowl South Africa out, but he didn't. He declared mid-afternoon. He gave the team 150 odd overs to bowl South Africa out, which obviously worked out pretty well because they got him out with 8 overs spare. But it was just a fantastic knock from Stokes to allow Root to go and do that declaration. And obviously with ball in hand, just phenomenal. I mean, at the end, he's bowled like 20 odd overs. The guy's hardly bowled for months, he hardly bowls Centurion. He had the injury issues. So to then, go and bowl 20 odd overs and, win the match for England, it's just, it's Roy the Rovers stuff, isn't it, really? So yeah, brilliant test match. I know, obviously, there's a lot more talk now because of what happened this test match about the 5-day format. And a lot of people come out afterwards as well saying, I think Chris Gale's come out now as well, and some other cricketers have come out and said, you know, we got to stick to the 5 days, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and all this stuff. People have got very short memories, and the problem is, there's no, like I said before, there's no smoke without fire. Why are we talking about 4-day test matches in the first place? If it's not broke, then why are we talking about it? Please, someone explain that. Drop it in the comment section below. If it's not broke, why are we talking about it? There is a reason behind that. There's dwindling attendances. It's costly to run. There's a lot of cricket. There's a lot of cricket now being played by professional cricketers, especially the 3 format players. This would save time with that. They're losing 50 odd overs. The 4-day game is obviously the standard length of the first class game. It's 4 days. Now, I'm not completely against sticking with 5 days. I'm just saying, what's the harm in trying it? There's enough reasoning there to try 4-day matches. South Africa had a 4-day match against Zimbabwe. I know Zimbabwe was at home, and it was wrapped up well before 4 days. But if you're playing the additional overs per day, it's not the end of the world, you know, to even try it. At least have a see and try it, you see, because if you've gone back 20 years, or 25 years, let's say, that's 95, and said, let's reduce 50 overs to 20 overs, people would have laughed at you. I thought, what are you talking about? 50, you can't do 20 overs, it's ridiculous. It's the biggest format of sport, isn't it? So, you know, I don't want to hear like, oh, it ain't broke, don't fix it, and all this like, just all the don't tamper with it. It's the sanctity of the game and all this, you know. Okay, but like I said, for the reasons I mentioned before, there's enough evidence there to suggest that maybe a change in the length of the test match would actually help to breathe new life into it. Like I said before, we are in an age now where people want immediate information given to them at a time where everything's a click of a button. We just want faster. That's what we've now got, a T10 game, guys. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I won't go on too much about that. I've already talked a bit about it in my previous video. Just want to follow up because I know that now, because this kind of test match what's happened. People forget the amount of crap test matches that we have that peter out over 5 days, and all test matches that don't finish in 5 days and finish in 4. You see, because this is a case of Emperor's New Clothing. That's what happens. You know, this happens now. It's like 5-day game must be preserved because of test matches like this. But you will get enthralling finishes in 4 days as well, because people know the format and they're going to play a certain way to force a result. So anyway, leave it on that. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Me done with this on this video. So yeah, if you like the content, please do like, comment, and most of all subscribe. All right, cheers.